Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for tuning in. I'm GoLocal Live contributor Chelsea Gay, live here in our downtown Providence studio with our weekly segment of what is happening in Rhode Island. And my first guest today, Keith Munslow from the Empire Review, is here to talk with us about a really exciting musical that's happening this weekend, Benny's the Musical, which is the most Rhode Island thing I can think of at this point,
Certainly
probably.
is.
So, Keith, I want to talk about the musical, but first, let's talk about the Empire Review and what you guys are doing over there and how this came to be.
So the Empire Review is a sketch comedy show. It runs the first Sunday of every month at AS 220, and it has been for over 12 years. So we do a brand new show every single month. And last year we decided we were going to take Super Bowl Sunday off because nobody ever comes to the show on that Sunday. And so we had an extra month, and we decided to write a musical. And it was just around the same time that Benny's announced that it was closing. So we jumped on that, and we wrote Benny's the Musical, and we sent out a press release. And before we had our first brainstorming meeting, all the tickets sold, and so we were like, "Oh
You're like,
no!
I guess we have to do this.
I guess we have to do this." So we added a second show, and then long story short, we ended up doing it again at the Columbus Theater in May. And so this year we came around back to Super Bowl Sunday, and we didn't have another idea for a musical, so we said, "Let's remount it for another day."
Awesome.
So that's how it came to be.
So the cast just sort of, and the group at the Empire Review just saw that it was closing, and that sort of inspired them
Exactly.
to think about this nostalgia.
Exactly, and also the thing that really struck us was that the story that we wanted to tell, and the story we ended up telling, was that it became really clear, both to us and people we talked to, how much emotionally it was affecting people, and also that hundreds, thousands of people lost their jobs. So there was a story to tell right there, and so it did really write itself. Like once we latched onto that.
It's the neighborhood store
It's the neighborhood store
since everybody can remember. So
That's true.
It makes a lot of sense. So you wrote a lot of the music for Benny's the Musical, and so tell me about that process. Was it collaborative? I mean, how did it sort of grow from the music into the soundtrack and the words? How did that process go for you guys?
So the Empire Review, the cast, which is called the Sparkling Beatniks, we write all of our shows collaboratively. So we got together and we brainstormed some characters and some storylines, and I wrote a lot of the music. One of our cast members, Tom Wright, wrote some of the music. All the lyrics were written by the cast. All of the dialogue and the script were created by the cast collaboratively. We just made a Google Doc, and we were all just in there working the script. So very collaborative project. And we we made a timeline. The first thing we did was made a timeline of the story, and then we put markers where we thought we needed songs emotionally. And so that's how that process went, and then tweaked them. And then for this run, we added a little bit of choreography, which is brand new for us because we're a sketch comedy troupe. So now everybody's
dancing.
Yeah, now we're dancing. Surprise! And then we added made some edits to the script, and for this run, it's slightly different, but mostly it's the same as last time.
So what is going into this as a whole? I mean, is it the entire cast of the Empire Review? Did you have to find additional people as well to participate? I mean, is it a full set? Like, what is it? What is the?
So the show is like 1 hour long, a little over an hour long, and it is the entire cast in the show. And we did kind of build the characters around the cast that we have, and wrote the show that way. One thing that we're adding this time that we didn't have last time is, and this again was from so many people asking us to record a cast recording of the show. So we've been in the studio for the last 2 months creating a cast recording, and it's almost finished, and we are going to have those for sale at the show on Sunday, and also on our Facebook page, which we encourage people to check out.
So people, how much people love Benny's because they want to buy a soundtrack of Benny's the Musical.
They want it, yeah.
I mean, why not?
It's a way of keeping it alive, and yeah, people do have a lot of feelings, as evidenced by how they're reacting to the news that Job Lot's moving into some of those spaces.
How is the cast feeling about that?
I think Job Lot is a close second for sure, and Benny's was a place that we used to go to a lot to buy props, and now we don't have Benny. So Job Lot, we actually talk about Job Lot in the show too, as I guess what I think is that because it's also a Rhode Island business, I would rather see a Rhode Island business go into those locations than just have a chain kind of swoop in.
That makes sense.
So it's still Rhode Island, and
Yeah.
and I think yesterday on Frank Latta's show he mentioned we get a net gain of one job lot because they're just relocating to other bands.
Exactly. They're just moving around.
Just moving around. It's
but
lateral.
It's funny. I mean, we covered the press release yesterday and the press conference, and there were people that were pretty unhappy that Job Lot was moving into the Benny space because Benny's was sort of your friendly neighborhood store.
And I think there are certainly people, and I get it, like that they won't be happy unless Benny's,
it just
comes back like the
somehow.
Phoenix.
Yeah, maybe that's why they're going to the musical. They're thinking somehow this is like a last-ditch effort to bring back Benny.
And we did at the shows that we've done. I'm curious to see if this is happening again, but we did have a lot of former employees who came in groups and wore their name badges and sat together. So that was a really nice thing to see. We had a lot of people talk to us after the show, to tell us Benny's was their first job, and everybody we spoke to had stories, and so it really made us feel connected to the audience in a way that you don't normally get to when you're creating a piece of theater. One of our cast members said we had an opportunity to create a piece of theater for the very people who needed to hear it and see it. So that was a really unique experience for us too.
So it's the second year running. It's the third time you're running it.
Running it.
You've added choreography now. Are there any other kind of iterations that have happened based on all these stories you've heard, or
no other new iterations, but our big dream that I think is worth mentioning on the air is that we get somebody to sponsor a longer run, maybe a 2-week run in a larger scale production. And the second half of that big dream is that we do it in one of the former Bennies before it becomes another thing. It's a big open space. It'd be easy to do a theater show. So if you want to sponsor Bennies the Musical, you can certainly contact us.
We'll flash
through
the phone
Facebook.
number below. Yeah, check them out on Facebook, absolutely. So the show is it 12 original songs?
It's 12 original songs,
And so can you give us, without giving too much away, can you kind of take us a little bit through the main plot? Are we following one person? Is it a team of people? And tell us a little bit about the theme of the show.
So you're following the stories of a few of, really everyone in the cast. You do follow their story in different ways. There are a bunch of employees whose stories you follow. It sort of centers around the manager, whose name is Bess Pulaski. You follow her story, but then all the other characters, you follow their stories too. So it's employees, and then it's also people who shop there. And for the employees, is a lot of them, like older employees, it's too late for them to do a new thing. So what do they do? Or people who have worked there their entire lives, what are they going to do? And people who are very loyal to the store, where are they going to go? So we really do follow everyone's trajectory. And then again, without giving it all away, there's a little ray of hope in the show. In the form of one of the cast members who plays a young kid who's starting their own Rhode Island business. That happens too. So it's not a requiem for Bennies.
It's not a drama.
It's not Les Mis for Bennies.
Oh God,
it's not that dark.
So I mean, in true Rhode Island fashion, it is sold out again.
It is sold out again.
So that's always fun. So are you guys planning on kind of continuing, almost like the Saw movies? You'll keep making them.
Yeah, we'll keep making them
until they stop coming. Or?
I do think we would like to see that if we do it again, that we want to be able to, because we are not a traditional theater troupe. We are a sketch comedy troupe, so we don't have a season. We just do, usually our shows are one and done. We do one show on a theme every first Sunday, and then we move on to the next show. So this has been a really unusual experience for us. But I do think people want us to keep doing it. We just want to see it be a bigger production, and we'll need help in order to make that happen. So I hope that we can do it again. The cast loves doing it, and again, we never have the opportunity to do stuff again. So for us, it's a treat. Like, oh, I already know the songs. Like, I don't have to learn a new thing again every month.
They can just kind of
enjoy.
Enjoy their role.
Exactly.
Okay, and so you're very intimately involved, obviously. So is the rest of the troupe on the creation of these songs. Do you have a favorite line or favorite song that you would share with us?
Oh boy, I'm not singing any of the music, so I don't know. I think I will say this, that there's a real diversity of style in the music, which is really nice. It does, like a Broadway musical, there is a tearjerker ballad in there,
Oh,
and there's
okay.
sort of a drinking song one of the cast members sings, and
A Benny's drinking song.
there's sort of a sort of a like we will weather the storm. I think the sentiment that I most like is in the song that we have called "Weather the Storm," which talks about that the fact that Rhode Islanders are resilient and that we have weathered many literal storms and then other losses like Rocky Point and places that we've seen go away that broke our hearts, but because we're tough New Englanders.
Rocky Point the musical, should be.
Right? People have said it. We started becoming afraid that we were going to only create musicals for places that were
Rhode
gone.
Island, musical troupe, Coffee Milk musical.
Coffee Milk the musical, all of that. But I think Weather the Storm, for me, it captures the sentiment of the show the most. Like, we have to coalesce as a community to weather these losses that are inevitable with local businesses in an economy that is also largely an e-economy now.
Of course, yeah, that makes sense. And so besides the employees that have turned up and given you great reactions, what other kinds of people are you finding come to these shows, and what's the reaction that you're getting from them?
It's been incredibly positive. We had some of the family members who own the store came to the show, and we didn't know any of that was happening until they were there and came up to us afterwards and spoke to us. It's been an incredible diversity of audience, both in age and demographic, but just the thing that we see across the board is people's passion about this store and this place because, just when they see the sign, just their reaction to that, it's really something. Like, I think it feels like when we're doing the show, we're all in it together before we play a note. Like, we all get in the room and we all are acknowledging our love for this place. So it's very special. I don't know how to describe it. It's a very unique piece of theater where it feels like the audience owns the show as much as we do.
That makes sense.
And so we're happy about that.
Did anybody in the cast, was anybody not really familiar with Benny's, or was everybody?
We have a couple people in the show who are not locals. We have one guy in the show who's from upstate New York. We have another from Boston, and
So do they think this is a little kooky or what?
Well, we intentionally cast the guy from upstate New York, Jimmy Sorrell. We intentionally cast him as the guy who's most obsessed with Benny's because we thought that would be a fun thing for him to do. And he confessed to us that he had only ever set foot in the place once.
One time, yeah, of course.
But yeah, I think every community has those places. So when we were writing the show, we talked about that a lot, like that every community has those kind of those family-owned businesses that people are fiercely loyal to. And I think wherever you go in the country, they're there.
You'll find something.
You'll find something like that.
Of course. So if the show sold out, as we said, but you can follow the Empire Review on Facebook to find out what they've got going on the first Sunday of every month.
First Sunday of every month. The April show is going to be the first Sunday of the month, and that's going to be the Accidental show. So we would love people to come check out one of our monthly sketch comedy shows as well.
So it's, is it the same time every first
8 o'clock, first Sunday every month, except for Super Bowl Sunday.
Except for Super Bowl, yes, because I don't know.
Benny's.
Who's going, Cause
and who's going to a show?
Who's going to a show on the Super Bowl? They've got enough things to do. Well, Keith, thank you for coming on to talk about Benny's the musical. I hope it's a great success this weekend.
Thanks so much.
And sorry to our viewers who couldn't go, but hopefully,
Me too.
Hopefully it takes a return in the coming months and
Sponsor.
Yeah, or you can just sponsor it, of course. Yeah, we'll all band make a GoFundMe. People love that.
That's
Benny's
not a bad
the
thought.
musical GoFundMe. But Keith, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Chelsea.
And we'll be right back, guys. We are going to talk to the Boyle Bros about a Fat Tuesday crawfish boil coming up in just a few minutes. Welcome back, everybody. I'm here with Adam Cardillo and Ryan Milton, otherwise known as the Boyle Bros. Thank you guys for joining me today.
So excited
And
to be
not
here.
the brothers, even though they look like brothers. I thought they were, but they're just the bros. So,
The bros.
yeah, the Boyle Bros. Love the name, love the shirt. You gotta like rep that shirt a little bit. I love it. So you guys, obviously, boil crawfish. Well, not obviously. You boil.
We do.
We don't know what you boil, but we're going to find out. So tell us about how you both kind of have a food background, and have you known each other a long time? How did this come together that you just said we want to do crawfish boils on a larger scale?
So me and Adam known each other for quite a bit of years, and we've been down in New Orleans a bunch of times. And about a year ago, almost a year and a month ago today, we started doing backyard boils at our house.
Yep.
And invited a lot of industry friends over, and they were enjoying it so much they said we should start doing pop-ups out in public. So we started doing pop-ups at Ogie's Trailer Park, and our first boil we sold out in 90 minutes.
Yep.
So
Sold out of all the crawfish.
Yep.
yeah,
Wow.
really quick.
Like over 100 pounds.
And we get them in live from New Orleans, from a farm down there. It's just awesome. We serve them with potatoes, corn, mushrooms, all in a big pot, and
Yeah.
it's kind of an experience with live music.
Absolutely. So yeah, there really is an experience to a crawfish boil for people that have never, been to New Orleans or eaten crawfish. The whole experience, it's not like you're sitting down to have a sandwich. It's a
Right,
whole.
right.
I mean, there's a whole
It's a
kind
messy,
of air
it's
to
a-
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You get down and dirty. We do table drops where we bring a pot over to a table of people that buy tickets for that. We'll drop them on the
Yeah,
table.
just dump 'em
blasting
there.
music. It's
Go
a fun
crazy.
experience.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Everyone's supposed to be social together, meet people you don't
Yeah.
know.
So you were doing this in your backyard this past summer, 2018. You were having these crawfish boils. It was really fun. So what kind of, how was the transition between that to now you're doing this in pop-up style? I mean, do you have to order a lot more? What is the
So-
process like for you guys?
Well, the second or third boil that we did at our house, we called ourselves the Boyle Bros, and we made kind of a joke Instagram
Okay.
and started taking pictures for that. And all of a sudden, all these breweries started messaging us and say, "We need you to come here. We need you to go there."
Okay.
So Narragansett Brewery did our first one with, and they brought us out, and it just worked out really well. And I don't know, we just kind of keep going from there.
It's just been a party since then, pretty much.
Yeah. So how are they transporting live crawfish from New Orleans to you? I mean, that blows my mind.
They come on an airplane, and we go get them
First
from
class.
we get them from TF Green Airport. We pick them up in the
I mean,
morning.
the sheer volume of that
and
must
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the large cases of live animals.
yeah.
be. Oh my gosh. So for
It's
those
cool,
people that
though.
don't know what a crawfish is or how to eat a crawfish, I mean, can you tell? I mean, without showing you, that's kind of hard.
Yeah, we don't really have them with us,
But
but we kind of.
that's probably about the size.
Yeah, a little bit smaller.
It's a tiny little lobster, and
Yeah.
after it's boiled, you break the tail from the head.
Okay.
And the most important thing is you have to suck the head. The juices in the head is
Right.
the most important part, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And then after that, you split the tail in half, and the meat inside that is sweet,
Okay.
delicious, and spicy.
Yeah.
So how much meat are you actually getting out of a crawfish? I mean, really?
Each one, not so much.
That's why you have
but
to have.
Yeah.
You need a lot. So we usually
Right.
sell by the pound, and that's usually a good way to start. See
Okay.
if you like them.
Okay. So you guys just sort of discovered your love for crawfish when you were in New Orleans. I mean, why crawfish as opposed to some of the other New Orleans delicacies like, turtle
It's just
soup?
kind of a
and-
thing that we don't really have around here. So we were, like he was saying, like we were just kind of sitting around and we're like, we really want to eat crawfish. How can we do this?
Yeah.
And how can we do it all the time?
Yeah.
And then it just went from there. So
Yeah.
I try to visit New Orleans every couple years,
Right.
and the last 2 times I went, we actually we were there and we just had a blast, and it's just
Ate a
kind of
lot
been
of
like
crawfish.
an addiction almost.
Yeah, ate a lot of
Yeah.
crawfish.
Crawfish addiction.
Right.
Well, yeah, I always say that. I think New Orleans is almost like another country in terms of food because you really can't get a lot of the things that they have there
Right.
Oh, no.
back here. It's just not the same. I mean, even po' boys. I mean, it's just not the same as when you're there.
Right.
So it's. I think it's a good thing to bring back because you can do
Definitely.
it right. You can, if you get the product from there itself. I mean, you really can't go wrong. So you guys just came back yesterday.
Yeah,
From New Orleans,
we're on
so-
separate trips, and we just kind of coordinated, so we
Nice.
were both there at
Yep.
the same
And
time.
you got these awesome necklaces
Yep.
while there. I'm sure it was
Yep,
a crazy
from
time.
parades, and
Lots
yeah,
of
it's awesome.
parades. And
And,
so oh yeah, no, go ahead. Tell me about that experience when you guys were just there. I'd love to know.
We tried to hit as many restaurants as possible.
Yep.
I mean, we probably had
7 meals a day. We just try to go from one to the next and just eat as much food and try to gain as much experience and get as many flavors as possible.
And so do you think you'll at any point expand to some more items besides crawfish boils? Or, I mean,
yeah, I would say for like little pop-ups, we'll just start with crawfish. But when we do spots at bars or breweries or stuff like that, we'll do like a 2 or 3, maybe a 4 items on our menu.
Great.
So it's going to depend where we go and how how much space we have and stuff like that.
And we've seen a lot of successful pop-ups in the area, especially doing with breweries and things like that, open their own space. So do you guys think at any point that you want to kind of settle roots and open a restaurant here, or are you going to keep this strictly pop-up?
I think for right now we're still in the infancy stages. We're going to see where it goes. I mean, we're having a lot of fun. We're both busy with other businesses that we work for, so we're going to keep it just for fun for now. So
just staying as pop-up.
Yes.
And we don't need a huge space either, so it's pretty much like everything that we need, we can fit in the back of our car and take it wherever we want and have a pop-up boil wherever we go. So
all right.
super easy.
That's awesome. And you guys have these festive necklaces on because we're approaching Fat Tuesday, obviously. We're right in the heart of Mardi Gras season.
Right.
And so you guys have a really fun event that you're doing with Ogies on Tuesday night, on actual Fat Tuesday. I love that about Ogies. They always do the events on the day. They're not waiting for the weekend. It's the day. So
that's right.
Tell us about the Fat Tuesday event. You guys will be there. I mean, what's it going to be like, or how are they approaching this?
So we're going to do our crawfish boil on Tuesday. That's the 5th, next week. It'll start at 5 and it'll go till pretty much we sell out. It's at Ogie's. It'll be inside, unfortunately, because it's kind of cold outside.
Yeah, they have nice outside, but
it's great. We'll have lots of brass music playing, and then we're actually going to have ERB, the brass band, is going to stop by probably around 7 o'clock.
Parade their way in.
Literally, they'll come marching in, playing music. We're teaming up with Abita Brewery, so we'll have king cakes, and they're going to bring lots of beads. There'll be a few different Abita special beers, one on tap. We'll probably do Purple Haze on tap,
that
and
makes sense.
a couple other tall boy cans that they're going to have.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it's going to just be a huge party, and it's going to be awesome.
Everyone's got to go.
Yeah.
And if someone hasn't experienced Fat Tuesday, I mean, do you encourage people to kind of dress up, have fun, put the beads on?
I mean, wear bright colors, and we'll have lots of beads to give away. There's no charge. There's no cover charge or tickets or anything. So it's just get there and have some drinks, have some fun, eat some crawfish with us.
Eat a lot of crawfish.
Got to get there before we sell out. So
bring
we're
your
planning
own wet
on selling
wipes.
out.
Yeah.
No, we'll have wet wipes.
Okay, good. I know it does get messy if you're
definitely.
if you don't want to get your hands dirty.
Don't wear your nice shirt.
No, you have to bring bibs too.
Yeah.
Instead of a lobster bib, you should make a crawfish bib.
That's a good idea. We might have to do that.
Yeah, it's okay. You can just pay me the royalties.
Okay, yeah.
So you guys have, you're going to do some other pop-ups. Tell me about kind of what your spring, summer schedule is going to look like. Are you going to...
So as of right now, we haven't set the schedule out yet. We're working with PTX Lounge and possibly doing a full menu pop-up on a Sunday or Monday. We're talking to What Cheer right now about doing a couple things over there in the next month or two. Basically, we can do this until the end of July when crawfish season kind of comes to a complete halt. So yeah, we'll be putting that out there soon.
Okay, and the best way for people to follow you is on Instagram, correct?
You can follow us at Boil Bros.
Okay, and you guys do private events as well too. Can someone book you and for a crawfish boil if they want to have a big...
Boil Bros on Instagram, Facebook, or boilbros401@gmail.com.
You can get your own giant dump of crawfish at your
Right.
house. Impress your friends.
The more people, the better. So it's always more fun when
It is
lots of
very
people
impressive.
are eating it.
Yeah, it's an impressive thing to dump out pounds and pounds of crawfish on on a big table with
there's plenty of videos of us doing that on Instagram.
The checkered tablecloth. So I have to ask, what's your favorite beverage to enjoy with a crawfish boil?
You got to drink beer with it. I mean, that's a huge thing. Yeah, having a nice beer just makes the spicy food taste better.
Yep.
I mean, I've always kind of felt that way with wings or like tacos. You always have to have a beer, so it just goes nice with the spicy crawfish.
And so, in your trip this time, when you were eating everything, experiencing everything, do you kind of tweak the recipe a little ever, or you guys you have your recipe and that's it?
We learned some new tricks this past trip down to New Orleans.
Yeah.
So everything that we've done so far is just gonna make us have a little bit better and a little bit tastier every time.
Yeah, and I'm assuming you found a good distributor because you're getting the products back here. But I mean, how have people been generally when you tell them that you're bringing this back to Rhode Island? Are people like excited that you're taking a classic New Orleans dish and bringing it here, or I mean, they've been willing to share their secrets with you?
Oh yeah, so I made some very good friends down there. You meet strangers down there and they become your friends pretty quickly.
Nice.
But we went to a couple restaurants, Clessy's, which is kind of the mecca of crawfish down in New Orleans, and we got to go in there and talk to the chef a little bit. You kind of got to see what he was doing, and he was really excited that we're bringing these traditions to other parts of the country.
Great.
Definitely.
Awesome. And then, is that your favorite place to get crawfish when you're in New Orleans, would you say?
It's top
that's
three.
The place I've been the most.
Okay. And you guys have done beignets and all that. Do you have any other favorite spots when you're in New Orleans that you recommend if anybody's going?
The Turkey and the Wolf for lunch.
Yeah, that was a cool spot.
Very interesting spot. And
well, we have the direct flight now, Frontier, I think.
That's
to
right.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
So I think a lot more Rhode Island people will get to experience it, hopefully, with that direct flight. So
absolutely.
Right out of TF Greens. That's pretty cool. Well, thank you guys for coming on and chatting with us. I hope everybody gets out to Ogie's on Tuesday. It's a really fun place if you haven't been. It's probably makes it even more fun because you'll get to eat with your hands, and even if you don't want to, I'm sure they have their regular menu too.
It'll be a party.
Why wouldn't you want to eat crawfish when you can? Experience True Fat Tuesday with parades and dress up and have fun. So we appreciate you guys coming on and chatting with us about it, and good luck with everything. And we'll put your Instagram in our little write-up, but it's the Boyle Bros, so that people can find you and follow what you're up to on what started as a joke and now has turned into a real business. So that's awesome. I'm glad you guys are following your passion.
We'll see you Tuesday.
See you Tuesday.
Yes, see you Tuesday. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be right back with a new distillery that is opening next weekend in Pawtucket. Welcome back, everybody. We are live in our downtown Providence studio with our third guest today, Kathy Plord from Rhode Island Spirits. Kathy, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
Talk about the 6th distillery that Rhode Island has ever seen as of yet. So that is really exciting, and congratulations.
Thank you. We are excited to open next week, and we're probably one of the few people that found the government shutdown a little helpful because it gave us a little pause and breathing space, but it held up our labeling because we couldn't get our formulas yet approved, and you need a human being at the other end of the line to do that.
Yes, so, you do need a human being. That would be helpful.
Yeah.
So Kathy, you and your wife Kara started this company, officially started distilling back in January, which was only a few months ago, right? Or?
Yep. We got this idea about a year ago, almost exactly a year ago. We got serious about it and started doing the numbers, and it sort of launched out of some time that we spent in England. We were in England for a couple years and just watched the gin craze go vertical.
Oh yeah,
which
people
was
love their
super
gin
cool.
in England.
They do, and it's craft and it's interesting and it's flavor, it's local, it's a mix of botanicals. There's always something cool that you can find in gin.
Of course.
And if you're going to make your own gin, you might as well make your own vodka too. So
similar spirit.
that's what we're doing.
To start with, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think gin is almost like the next tequila, because tequila went from being Jose Cuervo, at least the only thing you could find at a bar, and now there's 15 kinds that you can find at most bars. And the same with gin. Everybody thought of gin as the pine tree liquor.
Yeah,
and,
or your uncle's nasty stuff that was warm at the bottom of the back of the liquor
big green
cupboard.
jug.
No, bad. This is not what we're after.
No, it's not your grandpa's gin.
No, there's a place in the world for that, but no, that's not what we're after. Yep, we really went Rhode Island local, Rhode Island botanical forward as much as possible. So I've actually got a few things if you want to try them.
I would love to try them all,
right.
absolutely.
So
tell me what you have, these two bottles, and then tell me what you brought in the little vials.
Sure, so our brand name is Rhodium, and we will have a flagship vodka and a gin at all times.
And these are
once
those right
we
here?
get all started. Yes, no, we will have, actually you're missing a fourth one right here. Of that, so we've got a pink gin, which is not sweet. We have a vodka, and we have a red, I call it Rhode Island red vodka. The pink gin is like a deconstructed Angostura bitters and gin cocktail. Angostura has so much going on, and this sort of takes what we could find locally and pink and makes it kind of an herbal.
Yeah, it is very herbal.
Yeah, I forage a lot of what's in there. That's probably my most foraged recipe.
I like that word.
So yeah, so things that were pink. You've got a little jammy with rose hips in there, and some autumn berries, and some jammy and some sour, and then some floral.
Sort of an interesting taste on its own.
Yeah.
And now when you're doing this with gin, are you diluting the alcohol content and kind of adding
You have to get it to a certain proof, and you sell it at that proof. And but yeah, there are 3 components to this. There's the distillation, there's the vapor, or there's the compounding.
Okay.
And this one has all 3.
And so it's not a liqueur per se. It is still a gin. It's but it's got an infusion of.
Right. So liqueur would have much more sugar than a traditional liquor would, and there's no sugar in that at all.
Okay.
And it's neat on its own, or in a rosemary grapefruit cocktail, perhaps.
That sounds nice.
Quite yummy.
Bringing out your England. Right
Yes.
Now.
Oh, I love rosemary.
I do. I love rosemary too.
Well, this one's the vodka. If you want to go for the vodka, and I have to warn you, it's smooth.
You have to warn me it's smooth?
Yes, very smooth.
It smells almost like nothing, which is interesting to me. You
is,
really don't get like that kick in your nose.
Well, that's the legal definition of vodka, is something that's odorless and without a characteristic taste.
It is absolutely odorless.
Yep. So we're right on target for that. Our secret ingredient in this, not so secret because I'm telling you, is apple. We put apple in the still, and it makes it really smooth and gives you a nice mouthfeel.
If anyone knows me and I take a shot of anything, I look like I just got punched in the face. So that's saying something, because
very smooth.
That is very smooth.
Yeah.
It's not. It doesn't have that bite, that kick that you'd normally experience.
No, and it's full proof. It's I think it's at 40 or 42%.
So when you're using apple, how does that, without getting too in depth, I mean, how does apple come into the process of distilling?
Right. So you can make vodka. Actually, gin is the very first vodka, flavored vodka, because the only thing that makes it gin is that it has to have juniper berries in it. And it can have all kinds of other things, you know, sky's the limit, whatever you want, but it has to have juniper. The vodka you can make from anything, from grapes, from potatoes, from corn, from wheat, from anything. We're using a corn base.
Yep.
It's organic, non-GMO, naturally gluten-free. And then we take that and then we redistill it. It's already been distilled 6 times, and we take that, throw it in the still with some apples, and give it a 7th distillation, and then get it to the right proof so it's not too alcoholic. Because it comes off the still pretty high. I think my last batch came off around 80%.
Whoa, yeah.
Which is 160 proof.
Yeah, that'll just put you right on your butt.
No, not so much. But this one, I started with the name, and my wife and I have had such a fun time with this and tasting and is this good? How about this? A little bit, a little more herb, a little less herb, a little bit of this. So we've got a nice complementary palate, and we don't like sweet things. So this has a little sweetness to it.
Yeah.
So everybody who has this, they say, this one's good, this one's good, and then they get to that one, they go, ooh.
Yeah.
And she did it too. The register went right down.
So it's got a lot more of a flavor, I mean, when you try it after these two.
Yeah. So
you're giving me the official taste.
We stared with the red, the Rhode Island red, and went, what can we do that's local and interesting? And you know, cranberries were an easy reach. But cranberry isn't really enough. It's a little tart, which I like, but I wanted something a little more flavorful. So we went with cherry, and there's rose hips in there, and the secret ingredient, actually in this one and the pink, is a berry called aronia, which is also known as a chokeberry, and it's kind of the next superfood. So
watch out for that.
Yeah, higher than blueberries, and leaves cranberries and blueberries in the dust in terms of what it does.
Okay.
But I take it for its color because it's amazing.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Without adding any additional food coloring, you're not adding red dye.
No,
this
and there's
is the color coming from a berry.
no ground up beetles in this, which is normally what makes your red, unless it's chemicals.
Ground up beetles.
Yeah,
nice.
I forget the name of it, but that's what they are.
Why not?
Yep. So this is just tasty, and we want, really, it's an experience, and so I'm glad that you could have a little tasting room experience. Our tasting room is so cool. We're right on the river.
Yes, I've heard.
Yeah. You can't really get a drink on the river in Pawtucket or anywhere around there anywhere.
Yeah.
So
it's a nice spot.
Yeah. Unless you know somebody who lives in one of those lofts, and then you could probably do that there.
That is true. You can go get a drink there.
Right. But in lieu of having friends who have a loft in Pawtucket, you can come down to our place and comfy furniture and a big gas stove and comfy chairs and Wi-Fi. And we want people to come in and sort of be there and have it like an extension of your living room rather than, warning, there will be no flat screen TVs.
Oh, no TVs.
So if that's
okay.
a deal breaker,
people are gonna be fine with that.
you can go lots of places.
Yeah, you should go and talk to people and chat with people that you like.
Yeah.
I don't really think any other distilleries that I know have flat screens or tasting rooms even. Well, maybe the beer ones.
I don't know.
They're watching games and things like that.
I suppose you're right. But we're not a bar. We can't make food, but we can serve food. You can
bring your own food, correct?
BYOF.
Well, this is the best. I mean, you can bring like cheese and you can bring whatever you like.
We'll have small plates
crackers.
that somebody else makes.
Okay,
so we can't make them,
so
but we
do
can sell them.
You should have the crawfish guys.
It's actually Mad Dog Cafe that's bringing in some of our food. So
that's
these
great.
little,
Is that they're Pawtucket?
Yeah, they're right in the mill next to us.
Yeah,
so
great.
they're super. But BYOF or we'll have snacks that you can buy or Uber Eats in, whatever you want.
So and obviously you're not going to serve food, but you can absolutely serve cocktail versions of all of your things, which I'm excited about because I think these would make some really neat cocktails.
Yeah. So actually, I was trying to work on a grant, a day job, and so I was working on a grant last night, and Kara was working on cocktail concoctions, and she said, "So here, chase this one. Here, chase this one." I did not get a lot of grant writing done last night.
You had a lot of
afraid.
cocktails,
no, it was only a sip at a time. I just sort of gave it up and just went with the cocktail experience for the evening.
So that's awesome. And so, I mean, let's talk about you're the 6th distillery. I do think this is sort of still an untapped, if you will, market, and in Rhode Island, I think 6 is still a low amount of distilleries.
Yeah, well, there's Newport, there's Sons of Liberty.
There's one in East Providence.
Yeah, White Dog in Pawtucket, actually.
Oh, Pawtucket, okay.
And then I understand one's going in at the Steel Yard at some point, and they're not open yet.
Yeah, there's 6 licenses, I suppose.
Yeah.
Not functioning distilleries at this point.
And there's somebody else who does some distillation, and they package stuff for people, and they don't have a room where you can come and taste things.
Got it.
So I guess we're only like the fourth place you could come into and taste. Yeah.
And so at that, when you're the fourth, I mean, I think you're still at the forefront considering how big the beer market has expanded here. And you know, I always ask the breweries that come on just sort of what their differentiating points are. So as a distillery, I think that you focus on gin and vodka, which is different than some of the other larger distilleries here. But tell me about, and tell our viewers about what makes Rhode Island Spirits and the Rhodium brand, you know, a separate and better, if anything, from the rest.
I don't think it's better. I think it's kind of like when you have a car dealer, you don't want to be a car dealer at the end of the road in the middle of nowhere by yourself. When you're a car dealer or a distiller, you want to have people who are also doing this work in the area, and it builds tourism, it builds interest. I mean, we've taken trips around New England, sort of mapping where we're going to go, and we'll go through Vermont, we'll stop in New Hampshire, and we'll do this. And so I think it's the circle rises together here. I don't really see this as competition. And frankly, everybody's palate is different. So something that I think is amazing and delicious, you be like, yeah, I could live without that. And something that you think is amazing and delicious, I could certainly live without. So I don't really see it as competition. I see it as equal opportunity.
And so you come from a background of, you guys consult, you do a lot
Yeah.
of consulting for nonprofits, but how did you learn all of this? How did you learn all of this about distilling? I mean, putting apples into vodka, I mean.
So we did a lot of reading. We did some apprenticing with some folks, and a lot of experimenting, and you just sort of do it. You just do it. We come from nonprofit backgrounds, and while we still work with nonprofits and have another consulting business with that, because that's paying the bills right now, while we get this thing launched.
Well, this will pay the bills eventually. The vodka alone,
this will pay the bills eventually, I think. So what was the point in there? Your question, my question was what?
Oh,
and I have not had anything to drink. So
how you learned this much?
How we learned this much? Trial and error, talking to friends. One of our consultants is somebody I've known for years and years, who's been distilling since the late 90s, award-winning. And frankly, the industry is really generous and kind. And we've had conversations with people like, how do you do that? Or how much of this do you use? And people aren't going to give you their exact recipe, but they support you and will answer questions and help you out. So it's been fun.
Well, that's good. That's good to know then.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're in the industry, I can tell that it must be pretty kind.
Well, there's a whole cadre, if that's the right word, of women who are doing the work. And
I love that. I love that you guys are teaming up and you know.
We're meeting,
wife and wife doing this. I've always wanted to do that. I always thought it would be so fun to have a business with my husband because I like being with him. So why not? Like there'll still be tough days. But
we never could have done this independently. Our skill sets are different and fairly complementary, so that's good, and with some good overlap in that Venn diagram thing. So it works out pretty well. Nice. And we just like to have fun with this. And you know, Kara used to sell. She was marketing in arts and used to sell, you know, millions of dollars of opera tickets in a year for a large company. And if she can sell that many opera tickets, I think we can sell a few bottles of gin and vodka, limoncello, pawpaw vodka.
I'm in total agreement.
Nocino, which is a black walnut liqueur, and I've had to be reeled in because I have so many ideas.
You have too many.
Yes.
You have too many liqueurs.
One at a time. One at a time. So, but that's what's fun is that we'll be able to roll stuff out. We'll be able to do small batches. We'll have things that we always will have, and that's kind of our standard. But you know, I'm looking forward to, you know, one of our ideas is that we have do like for a charity award some sort, so like an auction, do a profile. We'll make your special gin for you.
That's pretty cool.
And so
gin based on you.
Yeah. So we've got some ideas on how to really reach out and support the local community.
Excellent.
We already have private events with nonprofits that are scheduled in the space.
Great.
A portion, some of our funding will be guided towards some nonprofits. And really are concerned about the river, the Blackstone Valley River, because we're on it, and it's clean manufacturing rather than what used to happen, which was kind of nasty and foamy and horrible.
It's getting better. It's getting there. It's not there, but it's getting there.
Well, there used to be, 2 fish? They were down to 2 breeds of fish in the river. Now they're up to 23. So it's nice to be a part of clean industry and just making the community a little stronger.
Absolutely. So you guys have your grand opening next weekend, the 9th and 10th?
Yeah.
Correct? Saturday and Sunday.
Yep.
So we got to tell people about that before we head off.
Yep, Saturday, Sunday, come on down. Be kind and patient with us as we figure out how to use the point of sale systems and everything else.
It'll be fine. This is very good stuff. So I think if you haven't heard of Rhode Island Spirits yet, go to their Facebook page. They've got their events for the opening already outlined. And I mean, the vodka alone is just very, I mean, I don't even drink vodka. It's not my thing. But it is very easy to drink.
Yeah.
So if you're looking to try a cool cocktail, or if you love vodka, or even if you don't.
Yep, we'll do tastings. You can do tastings, or you can have a cocktail, or both.
Bring your food.
We're only allowed to sell a certain amount of alcohol to a person in a day, so we'll keep an eye on that. But
that makes sense. That makes nothing but sense. Well, Kathy, thank you so much for joining us and for telling us about this awesome new distillery over in Pawtucket. So we hope everybody checks out the Facebook page and also checks out the grand opening this weekend. And then you will be
next
open.
Weekend,
next weekend, yes. The 9th and 10th of March. And you will be open after that for regular tasting hours.
Yep.
So if they can't make it that weekend, they'll be able to try these awesome products going forward into the year. So Kathy, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you coming on, and we hope everybody gets to try out these new spirits because they are pretty fabulous.
Thank you, Chelsea. Really appreciate it. Hope to see you there.
Yeah, we'll be back with our last guest in just a couple minutes. Thank you, guys. Welcome back, everyone. Our last guest today is Anise Germain from the Hope and Change for Haiti Foundation out of Rhode Island. Thank you so much, Anise, for joining us today. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Chelsea, for having me.
Oh, no problem. So tell us a little bit about the organization before we get into International Women's Day and the big event that you guys have going on then. Tell us about Hope and Change for Haiti and sort of the mission of the organization and what you guys are doing.
Okay, I say hi to everybody watching. And Hope and Change for Haiti is a non-profit organization birthed on 2016.
Okay.
Our mission is to improve the quality of life in the community and to contribute to the effort of rebuilding Haiti.
Okay.
And alleviate poverty.
Yeah, because
so
it's
that's
an
our
ongoing
mission.
effort.
It's an ongoing effort.
Okay.
That's our mission.
Okay.
So we are a community-centered and volunteer-based organization.
Okay. And in Providence? Located there?
We are in Cranston,
Okay.
Cranston, Rhode Island, but we work, our project, there's two focus. One focus is in Haiti, where we do housing, water, and education, where we distribute backpack and school supplies to children because education is very important in our project. And in Rhode Island, we have this advocacy project where we focus on immigrant, women's rights, and cultural awareness. That's where we work in Rhode Island.
Okay.
This is two parts. I want people really understand what we're doing. Is in Haiti, we work on community development, and in Rhode Island, we work on advocacy, women's rights, immigrant rights, and cultural awareness.
Excellent. Yes, and that makes perfect sense into the segue to International Women's Day, which is next Friday.
Next Friday is our second International Women's Day. It's big. Last year we had really a great event, and this year we want it to be better.
Yeah,
and
bigger and better.
bigger and better. And this year theme is balance for women's health. And we understand that health plays a huge role in a woman's life. Not everybody's life, but in women's life. And health in economic health, emotional, psychological health, physical health, it's important. And to understand how health is incorporated into every aspect of the life, we need to have the right to say, yes, I am in control on my health. And that's why this year we said, okay, balance for better women health. And I invite everyone to come at the State House next Friday, March 8th, to celebrate and to have mostly an evening of reflection. It's a reflection on our issue, the issue women face in our community. So we're gonna have so great speakers that will be discussing a lot of issues, and we together will sit to see how we can move forward, how we can better and have women rights, women health better and better.
Yeah. And so International Women's Day is obviously a global day recognized on Friday, March 8th, and this year the worldwide theme is Balance for Better, which exactly what you were saying is about being healthier in so many ways and factoring that into a woman's life. And so this event is at the State House next Friday, and as you were saying, there's plenty of great panel speakers. We've got women in legislature, business organizations. So, and you guys came together, Planned Parenthood. How did that happen? How did that collaboration happen?
Oh, we are so grateful for the collaboration we have with so many organizations, and we are open for other organizations to join us, because what we want to do is not something you can do alone. It's togetherness. Together we can raise, we can mountain, and we think we are grateful for Rhode Island Now organization, the Women Project with Jordan Henever and Hillary with Women Now, and the collective Planned Parenthood. Since last year, our first international day, Planned Parenthood was there with us, and this year again they are with us, and we are part of the coalition for reproductive freedom. So we think, as we started since last year, we think a woman has the right for reproductive freedom. It's a personal, private matter that women can have control of that.
Yeah.
So that's why we are part of the coalition, and we are open to other organizations. Any issue they have that align with our principles, and we are there to support. And the most importantly, it's women rights. But women rights, it's human rights. So there is no double standards. So if you have the right to health, you have the right to civil right. You have it's a civil right anyway. So
all of it is.
It's a civil right. You have the right to choose for yourself, the right to say, okay, I have to be healthy mentally, I have to be healthy economically, I have to have fair pay, you know. So this is a right for women, and I want people to understand that it's not like for one group or another group. It's a matter of health. Yeah. And we as women should have the right to decide for our health, how we want to live our life in a better way, and how we want to control our health.
Absolutely, and the goal must be that hopefully the efforts in Haiti get to a point where everyone has basic necessities, and then you can start to promote the same advocacy for women that you promote here.
Definitely, you are on point. What we do in Haiti is that you cannot think about other, like there is a basic.
Yeah, baseline.
The baseline, how people, like in Haiti, people on the street, they can have food on the table, and they don't have a place to live. How you can say, oh, I want this person to do this kind of, like, okay, I want you to do small business. How you can ask somebody to do small business while this person can have
water.
A place to live, can have water.
Exactly.
How? We need to start at the basic. That's why we said, like, in our mission, we want to satisfy the basic needs.
Absolutely.
So we work to address the basic need first, and after that, it's a ladders. So we start at the bottom, and then after we can talk about economic growth, we can come in small business, we can talk about advocacy. When the people have food on the table, that's when you can talk for that. And if I'm hungry, you cannot talk to me about, oh, you can this white, this that. No, you need to satisfy the basics first.
You have to get the basics on there, and then we can talk about the advocacy.
Yes.
But that's why it makes sense to have the two sides of the organization.
Two sides.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, as we said, the event next Friday at the State House, 3:30 to 5.
3:30 to 5.
There's 5 main keynote speakers,
yes.
And you can interact with them, hear what they have to say, and also, you know, bring up any issues that you may have, and listen to some very well-educated and well-respected women talk about balance for better.
Balance for better. We have Representative Teresa Tenzi. We have Hillary Friedman. She's the president of Udarendao. We have Councilwoman Nivala Fortune in Providence. We have Katia Osorio. She is a doula provider. That's one big subject we're gonna have to discuss on next Friday, where people can know about doula services that provide mostly to Black women, but it's a service that any woman can have. Yeah. So we have this lady that's a great woman that we talk about that. And we have Jordan Enoval. She's the co-director of the Women's Project. She'll be talking about a lot of issues, met with the Reproductive Health Care Act as well. So it will be a great event. And I invite you to come to enjoy and networking with friends, old friends, and make new friends as well. So,
absolutely.
Yes.
Why not? It's an event where women can come together to discuss this year's topic and also hear some great speakers. So we appreciate you coming on to talk about it, and also talking about Hope and Change for Haiti. And if you want to make a donation to the organization, you can follow them on Facebook, Hope and Change for Haiti, or visit their website to make a donation, figure out how you can be involved, and also read about upcoming events.
Yes, we have our upcoming events. We have Haitian Drums workshop we're going to be organizing on March 17th. That's our next event after March 8th. And our big event is the Gala fundraiser we will having on August. Please mark your calendar. So on Friday, August 23rd, it's going to be our second annual Gala fundraiser. Last year it was sold out. And this year, I invite you to get your ticket really early because it's gonna be really, really,
Oh,
really
excellent.
big.
Where is it this year?
This year it's gonna be, we think the same place.
Okay.
We keep the same place as last year.
Where was that?
It's Imperial.
Okay.
Yes, Cranston
Yeah.
Imperial Room at Schroeder's facility.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so that's we have, and actually we have a GoFundMe. Please, as we said, we advocate for immigration and women rights, but actually if you follow what is going on in Haiti, and it's hard. And we have people on TPS here, and we have people that have other issue with the immigration status. Actually, we are helping 2 families that really in a hardship situation. That's why I create a GoFundMe to see how we can help those families to have the money they need to complete their status, pay for the legal fee for the immigration status. Please go to the website and give a donation, 5, 10, whatever you have is going to make a big difference to help those families, please. I thank you so much.
Oh,
and
thank you for coming on the show,
Yes,
Denise.
thank you for all the support you give to Hope and Change. We appreciate that. And you can contact us or go to our Facebook page and our website. You can like us on Facebook. And we are, if you want to contact us, I am open, and every member, and I say hello, and to the big committee, Hope and Change for Haiti members, and my husband in the corner right here. And I say,
he's very supportive. He's right back there.
And I'm so lucky to have a man like him. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on today, and thank you guys for tuning in to our weekly segment of What is Happening in Rhode Island. We will be back next Thursday at 4 o'clock with another segment. In the meantime, make sure you check out GoLocalProv.com for all your news, and we will see you next week, everybody.